Hello, Heatseekers. It's the Heat Sheet. Hiya, just a quick wee note ahead of this week's edition of the Heat Sheet. We were plagued by tech issues, trying to get it made. There was various different issues, and now that I've got the files from the other side, the audio is fine, but for whatever reason, it hasn't taken our lovely faces and our lovely video for it. So on this week's YouTube edition, just imagine that you're looking at me, Steve and Lewis, and play along with our quiz. The PowerPoint thing for the quiz is all there, but for whatever reason, me, Steve and Lewis are nowhere to be seen, but we are everywhere to be heard. So hopefully that doesn't distract you too much. It was a great show that we had, some great laughs, some great quizzing. So yeah, just enjoy it without having to look at us for the change. Cheers. Hello and welcome yet again to the Heat Sheet. We are rising from the flames like the phoenixes that we are. We've had a couple of weeks not quite there, putting out what we can, but this is the first time we've been able to get back in a virtual room together, and we're going to bring you another edition of the Heat Sheet presents The Good, The Bad and The Sheety. I, as always, am your quizmaster, Chris Jack, and I'm joined again for the Good, The Bad and The Sheety by Lewis McNaughton and Steve Roach. Lads, it's been a while. It's took us a while to get on here tonight as well. How the hell are yous?
Say our name and we appear. We all read the Heat Sheet. It's a sign of the times when a Scottish independent wrestler is top of the charts in the UK. What a time to be alive, eh? Well done, Joe Hendry, man. Congratulations.
He's doing well. It's his birthday today as well.
Aye.
Big Joe's birthday today.
And he's... I found out this week his uncle's an MSP as well. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
He could be the next First Minister at this fucking rate.
I was going to say,
aye.
Number one in the family, number one in in Holyrood. It's a bit pish, to be honest, isn't it?
It's mad,
Scottish politics chat. Anyway, we're not here to talk politics, are we, Lewis? We're here to talk wrestling.
Aye, I'm glad I've had a couple of weeks off purely because I've needed to put extra shifts in at work to cover the price of my Clash at the Castle tickets. I've had to work fucking morning, noon and night to pay back the...
I've narrowly escaped a divorce.
Aye, it's pulling back the curtain. I've spent 350 quid on fucking auction mass tickets up at the top, but as always I'll fucking end up ringside somehow, but we'll keep that one quiet.
At least it's at an arena that's actually opening. If it was in Manchester, it'd be getting delayed by about 6 months at this rate with that arena getting.
Aye, there seems to be quite a few issues. It was at the Co-op Arena or something like that in Manchester.
I was worrying as well myself about getting tickets, how they might sell out and everything, but I seen a report today from fucking whoever it was about they're worried that tickets might not sell. So nearer the time, they say they're going to lower the prices to do it. So fucking all us idiots that took the bait with the £300 tickets.
They need to give us better seats then.
Exactly. Folk will be going for a nice day out front row for fucking £15 tickets, like they're at the Govan Town Hall or something.
It's mad the way that they've done it. And again, I think a lot of that's down to Ticketmaster and the dynamic ticketing stuff. But it certainly seems to be pricing a lot of people out. But unfortunately, it's not going to be one of the topics that we covered this week on The Good, The Bad and The Sheety. As we go into our quiz-based format to look at the past week in wrestling. We're going to start off with round one, which is hitting the headlines. So if you've seen this before, you're going to have to listen to me explaining it again. Basically, I'm going to give the lads some headlines with a word missing. The guys need to work out what the missing word is. We'll chat about that subject, and then I'll ask them a question on that to see who gets the points. So we'll go straight in with round one. Straight in, no kissing here. That's the wrong thing that's come up there. So headline number one: Elite attack on Can something driver? Question mark. What do you lads reckon that missing word is going to be there?
Well, it's not Tiger, so it's got to be, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 letters. Elite attack on can. Meltzer driver.
Incorrect, Steve. Lewis,
fuck.
you want to hazard a guess?
It's no coming to the top of my head. I'm thinking obviously maybe something to do with Jack Perry, but nah, it's no coming, mate. I'm gonna have to skip the point on this one.
No worries. There's no points for this. It's just to
It's
get
gonna
the
be
headline.
it's gonna be obvious.
A ratings driver.
Fuck's sake.
A ratings driver. So obviously last week at the end of AEW Dynamite, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson and Jack Perry, the scapegoat, dished out a hellacious attack on AEW owner Tony Khan, which culminated in him taking a TK driver in the hope that ratings are going to spike on this week's show to see what's going on. So with this story, I just really wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this angle of Tony Khan becoming a bit of an on-screen character, which he said that he never was really going to be, and how the elite taking him out in such a scandalous and shocking way, to the point where Shad Khan had to get involved as well. Just to get your guys' thoughts and feelings on that, and how you think it's going to impact on Dynamite this week and in the coming weeks.
I like it in the sense that Tony, but it gives you memories of like the kind of Attitude Era stuff where the owner was getting attacked a lot. And I also love how Tony Khan's worked it when he's shown up at the NFL draft wearing a neck brace. It was like this era is Vince showing up to the steroid trial in a neck brace as well. So it's like, but of course there's like the usual social media backlash, like people attacking Khan saying, I thought he promised never to get involved in an on-screen as an on-screen talent, but it's just like a one-off thing because it's going to be announced tonight. There's going to be like a general manager kind of announcement or a commissioner announcement, which I suspect is going to be Kenny Omega. So it's going to be like an elite versus elite thing. So it's not like Khan's going to be a regular on-screen character. I think it's something good and something fresh that's going to come out of it. And like AEW, they've not had good ratings for a while. At least they're trying something. It might not work as much as they want it to, but at least they're trying to do something. So I kind of like it. And they're using the Bucks and Okada in a good way. They're meant to be these arsehole heels that go around thinking that they own the place, and like none does that more than attacking the owner. And it's a good way of getting Jack Perry over. He's made this big comeback. He's just making himself look this wee arsehole, this wee spoiled Hollywood child who thinks he can do stuff and get away with it. So I say the more than the merrier. I like to see where they go with this.
What about yourself, Lewis? I mean, it's been quite an active week for Tony Khan. Not only did he get taken out in Dynamite last week, he had the NFL draft to deal with, and he made some fairly controversial statements in the week in regards to WWE, comparing them to Harvey Weinstein. Do you think that he's been going on the promotion offensive in the right way, or do you think that obviously the timing's been poor because of the NFL draft and he had to be present for that, but do you think that he should have kind of either shied away from that NFL spotlight over the last week, or has he been right to kind of embrace it, neck brace and all?
Yeah, I think that the neck brace part and all that's just it's necessary. It adds that little bit of reality to it. But I don't know how WWE got mentioned, but I think he purely brought it up himself, didn't he? Like he didn't need to say it. But things like that.
He was talking about AEW being the Pepsi
Yeah.
to WWE's Coke and just being on an alternative, and then kind of let his mouth run away with him a wee bit.
Nah, I think it's just he clearly needs a spokesperson for him in these things. Like he's never been the political type in terms of marriage into, like, say what Cody Rhodes is or what Triple H is, or them, where he can kind of pass the bucket. He takes the bait a little bit too much when it comes to things like that. He seems like a person that's easily wound up, and it's just little brother shit. Just seem to be the WWE can wind them up so easily and just make them look stupid. I think he just needs to never take the bait. And a couple of things on that. My opinions on the Tony Khan thing about getting taken out by the Elite. I think that I personally think it only works a couple of ways, and the heels needs to be a fucking monster heel or something that you kind of feel a wee bit of sympathy for Tony Khan. I think getting taken out by guys that are similar build and similar sizes to him, like the Young Bucks are and everything, I don't feel sympathy for Tony Khan in that way yet. And as well,
it should have been like Vader, like when he took out Gorilla Monsoon back in '96.
Yeah.
That would have worked better if it was done like that. Like,
I know, monster heel shit. Or a face that's been picked on so much by the, like, Stone Cold Vince McMahon shit, you know, where it's you had it coming sort of thing, and the fans are really wanting it to happen. So when he does, it's a massive pop. And in terms of the pop as well, I don't know if this is something I've missed or just made up in my head, but see the front row of the fans, was it like an LED screen or like a something in the way so you didn't see a lot of fans?
It's because it was at Dale's place.
Yeah, aye.
Because of that setup, they had the heightened LED thing.
That's one. I thought that took a lot away from it because you didn't really see anyone in the front section popping.
It wasn't really,
you didn't see the reaction. None of that. I felt like I was in the Thunderdome again. So I missed a massive trick there doing it there. They should have done it if they're wanting a memorable moment. You want to see the full crowd going and the look on everyone's face when it's happening. It kind of just felt a little bit, I don't know, it just felt a bit underwhelming with the impact of the move. I know you're looking after your boss, things like that. And obviously the mic shot to the gut and stuff that Tony Khan, he's had, 4 years to learn how to sell from the best wrestlers in the world. And it's one fucking move and he forgets 5 seconds later.
They should have done the EVP trigger instead of the Meltzer driver. Because the EVP trigger looks way more brutal and way more believable. Whereas like the Meltzer driver just looked naff in a way.
Tame.
Aye.
Yeah.
A lot of taking the EVP trigger though is on the person taking it. They need to know how to move their head and neck and all that and stuff. So it's probably the safer option to give them I
have a funny feeling they were going to, but I think Matt and Nick kind of, if you look closely, like they both look at each other, think actually this might be too risky. And I think they called an audible, said to Tony, look, we're going to do the driver instead because it's much safer to take. Which sounds weird, like how would dropping a guy on his head sound safer and knee to the face, but I don't know.
But yeah, I like the idea, you know, how it's going to set up like the power struggle and everything like that. But I think the people involved and the way it was executed and that was definitely didn't warrant Tony Khan coming out the next day and trying to take a shot at WWE by saying, look at us, here we are. It's I don't know. I think it was it was a good effort.
The Harvey Weinstein part, like it was obviously him taking a shot with all the sexual abuse scandals that's came out with WWE, especially with Vince in recent time. But if he wanted to sound a bit more heroic with it, he should have maybe made it more of an analogy like Fulham. He said we're like Fulham trying to take on the big six of the Premier League. He should know that, given he's the co-owner of it. That would have been a slightly better angle to go with.
He's a weird fish, Tony. I like him. I like him. I like his chaos. I like everything that's about him, but he just needs to kind of be a wee bit more.
He needs to stay the fuck off Twitter. Is what he needs to do, man.
But
billionaires should be banned from Twitter. Most of all, the cunt that owns it.
So the last thing I'm going to ask is on this. There was a bit of discourse around the angle in terms of the staff endangering the health and well-being of the boss. Now we know that the last person that was accused of doing that in AEW ended up getting sacked. What do you think that's a kind of a storyline or logic flaw that the EVP's aren't getting threatened with being terminated with cause as a result of what they've done, or do you think it's just one of these things that as wrestling fans we should just accept and enjoy the kayfabe of it all?
I think just accept and enjoy the kayfabe of it all. We get too caught up in the believability factor, going, oh, that doesn't make any logical sense, and half the fucking moves they do don't make any logical sense. Turn off your disbelief switch for a wee bit, I mean, people that moan about that are the kind of people that can't shut up and just enjoy a movie. Like, oh, how can Spider-Man stick to the walls while he's wearing gloves? Who gives a fuck? Just shut up and enjoy the movie.
And well, to round out this headline, I've got the first question for the first points on offer of the evening, and that question is: Tony Khan took to television after being TK drivered as part of the NFL draft, and he was wearing a neck brace. What two things did he say that he's going to do with the neck brace? First, shout your name,
Steve.
First.
He's going to auction it, isn't he?
He is. That's one of the
things. Can't mind the other one though.
Any ideas, Lewis?
He's gonna paint it WWE colours and put a big X through it just to show them AEW's on top.
No, unfortunately, it was going to get Rich Eisen of the NFL show to autograph it, and then he was going to auction it for charity. So, Steve, I'll give you half a point for that. So you take the lead on here. Right, the next headline that we are going to hit: Wrestling World, what in local hero?
Steve.
What do we think that missing word is? Steve?
Prestige.
It is not Prestige, no. Lewis, you want to...
That's obviously Joe Hendry related here.
Wrestling World blank in local hero.
Wrestling World.
He's pretty much there. You know the story. You know the context. You should know what that word is.
Local hero.
Wrestling World blanks in local hero.
Believe in.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There's the Wrestling World believes in local hero. As we alluded to at the start of the show, the prestigious one, the local hero, Joe Hendry, has been on the offensive as he embarks on getting a UK #1 on iTunes with his entrance theme, and he's, I think it's a minute 14.
A minute 13, mate, because I've fucking listened to it 1,000 times.
A minute 13. So do you think come Friday afternoon we'll be waving our hands from side to side as Joe Hendry gets to #1? Do you think it's going to happen?
I hope so.
I think it's, if I'm not even, it closes, is it Thursday mornings, the charts or something?
So it used to be the Sunday, but it's Friday afternoon. They do the midweek charts on a Wednesday, and then the big one is on a Friday afternoon. But see, this is the thing, right? The official UK charts is different for the iTunes chart. The iTunes chart makes up a big chunk of it, but if you look on like the official midweek chart update from this week, he's not in the top 20. So it's like the iTunes UK chart, I think, is the one that he's got the chance of being top of, but I don't think it's going to be a full... I don't think he would be getting on Top of the Pops if that was still about. Top of the Pops, Lewis, was a TV show.
I've heard it, mate.
That ran for a while. Jimmy Savile was on that. I think
Philip Schofield,
was on it as well.
All the good guys.
Aye.
All the good guys. But yeah, what do you guys think of this? I mean, it's there that a viral wrestling thing would make the sort of the mainstream, but by all accounts, he's been doing really well. He has been number 1 in the UK charts this week, Irish charts. It was in the top 40 on the American charts, or the iTunes charts as well. I mean, what do you think of this kind of guerrilla viral marketing thing that Joe's doing for himself?
I think it's like it's one of those. He's clearly got his finger on the pulse with it. It's one of those things that I think sort of aim for the moon, and if you fail, at least you end up in the stars. One of those ones. It's where I don't think he really wants to get number 1. I think it's just a marketing thing. So even if it doesn't get number 1, he's so well known now. You know, he's obviously seen the TikToks that are going about and known that he's fairly well known in the sort of online community. So fuck it. If we go for this, at least a million people will see who Joe Hendry is, and probably more casual fans will know of him than actual wrestling fans over this whole career, purely just by this one stunt. So I think it's fucking win-win for him.
I think as well, it blows your mind that he's doing this. He's top of the iTunes charts, 2 weeks after Taylor Swift released a new album. You've also got the Drake-Kendrick feud that they keep on sending out diss tracks to each other. And it's an independent Scottish wrestler. He's not independent, he's sent to TNA, but he's, you know, a Scottish wrestler is basically top of the UK iTunes charts. It blows your mind. And all I can think of is, how the fuck has he never been signed to WWE?
It's the creative freedom part of it. You know, if he went to WWE, he'd not be able to do his entrances. You know, because he's afforded that creativity with TNA. He's afforded the time to do it as well on shows.
Still like
you know, can you imagine that kind of thing on Raw? It's. I think TNA is the right place.
Right, but I'm not even saying like
in terms of the
I know, but you know, at a time when like WWE also have loads of other platforms, like their own YouTube channel, the network, like give him like his own show or something like that. I'm not saying like put him in Raw every week as the headline actor in. Give him like do what they used to do with like Edge and Christian had their own show, something like that. Like
I think he'd be perfect in NXT right now. You know, the chaosness of 2.0 and everything. His entrance videos they'd fly there. You know, and I think that if you get over enough, whatever it is, WWE has to accept it. So I think that you genuinely could one day see a Joe Hendry entrance video at WrestleMania, just if he gets big enough and builds that sort of trust from sort of TNA to maybe NXT to SmackDown to Raw upwards. I think that make yourself sort of undeniable in terms of what you do, just so that obviously, you know, nowadays it's the crowd pushes a lot of things. So if it takes off and people see his entrance videos and everything, then yeah, I think that he's not that old either as well. You know, like
I think he's still like 34 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got plenty of years in the tank.
He's still got plenty of time to get there. What have your guys' favourite memes involving his song been that you've seen in the past week or so?
What was it again? The Candyman one. It just fits it so well. Candyman, say his name. Yes, it's brilliant. It just fits it brilliantly.
It's not a meme for mine. It's just I've like genuinely before even Joe Hendry popped back up on the scene, like at least 5 times a year, I have to watch his WCPW fucking diss track to Big Damo, where he's singing hello, it's Hendry.
My favourite one was the best one.
The Scotty Too Hot. It won for North last year as well.
The Lionheart one was class. The Lionheart is a fanny. Liam Thompson has failed his degrees.
I'm Drew David. That one's fucking excellent as well. And look what Drew McIntyre is now.
The CM Punk meme that was going about for WrestleMania, where it's like Punk hearing Priest's music coming and he's clapping and everything in it is class. But yeah, it's been a phenomenal week, and hopefully Joe does it. And
I'm gonna. I'd actually like to ask you something. Do you think he could be featured at Clash?
Well, there is a working relationship with TNA that WWE have.
Good.
And if they were able to sort of capitalise on it, because I mean, like, I think was it NXT last night? They had their own Bloodsport match or Bloodsport matches.
NXT Underground with fucking Lullabies and Natalia, was it?
So they're definitely, they're in cahoots with like different organisations, and I think if they were smart and if they want to kind of capitalise on something that could just be like a fleeting thing, then.
If not, then what about All In at Wembley? Could he maybe get the same spot they gave Grado last year in the kind of pre-show thing?
It's a good shout as well. But I mean, certainly something that's going to help in both those cases is people going out and buying the track on iTunes for 79p. And again, I don't think it'll be doing any copyright disservice, but I mean, we'll give it a wee blast here. There's an extra wee plug. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Because I love him in London, in Paris, in
Tokyo,
Tokyo, America,
that's gotta be copyright.
Canada, and Mexico.
In Mexico.
It's a banger tune.
Yeah, do you know what I'll see the old proof of that? The old proof of the pudding of that is if people start singing it at football games.
I might just get it at the foot in the
He's a Hibs fan, isn't he?
It's got. Oh, I don't know.
Sure,
what
he's a
it is,
Hibs fan.
but it's got that chant ability about it. Say his name, he'll chuck one in. I believe in Liam Kelly. It'll be all over the terraces.
What Scotland player would fit for the Euros?
McTominay or Jack Henry.
There you go. Say his name and he'll get sent off.
Wave your hands from side to side when you're coming home after no qualifying out of the group. Anyway, right, we'll move, the question in relation to this headline. So again, points up for grabs here, or a point up for grabs here. Question is, Joe Hendry is battling Taylor Swift for the UK #1 at the moment. How many songs from Taylor's new album, The Touch Reports Department, are currently in the official UK midweek top 20? Shout
Steve,
in your name.
it's all. Is it not all 20? No.
Nope, it's not all 20. Lewis?
I fuck know so many songs on our album, but I'll go for 14.
31.
I'll go for 14.
So you think 14 of the top 20 songs in the UK are hers?
I've seen it before where she dominates pretty much all.
I'm sure on Spotify, like when it came out, all 20 top spots were hers.
According to the official midweek chart, which was released at tea time today, which I checked about an hour ago, there's only 3 of them.
Three?
Only 3 of them.
Just fucking slacking.
And I think it's for the fortnight. I Can Do It Better, With a Broken Heart, and Down Bad, which is my personal favourite of the.
Clearly, we're too positive
There
here.
was a rumour that she was going to. WWE try to get her to wrestle.
Get in the Royal Rumble.
No, who was it? Was it Maya Yim that they asked?
No, it was Io Sky
Swift.
when she. I think it was after she won the belt, and she was like a journalist. Are you crazy?
It's a bit mad. But anyway, hopefully Joe gets to #1, as you guys are still on not even 1 point between you yet. Right, we'll go on to the final headline for this week, which is Winds of Change make things something in NXT locker room. What do you think that missing word is going to be? This is probably the most obvious of the lot of them this week. Get your thinking heads on.
Winds of Change. Oh, see, I don't keep up with NXT as much.
I'm trying to think who's it relating to.
Well, what's another? What does a wind do? What does a wind give you?
Fucking no brain cells, clearly.
Yep. It's very much this word in both of your heads right now.
Nothing?
Gonna put you... Drafty.
Oh, for fuck's
Drafty.
sake.
Winds of change make things drafty in the NXT
Oh,
locker room.
Jesus Christ.
In relation to the fact that all the top tier talent for the majority.
My
of the
dream
top
is to be
tier
on
talent in
Have I Got
NXT.
News For You one day, and I am not fucking... I'm not.
My
doing
dream is to
myself
do
any-
this podcast before 10:15 on a fucking Wednesday night.
But aye, winds of change make things drafty in the NXT locker room. NXT has been well and truly plundered of a lot of its talent in the drafts over the weekend to SmackDown and to Raw. Lewis, you are the resident NXT head. What are your immediate thoughts on the call-ups?
I think that fucking fair play to Lyra going up. You know, obviously friend of the Chris Jack wrestling scheme.
Yep.
So thrilled for her. Kiana James going up is a weird one. It feels like she's just had her foot in the door at the sort of main event scene in NXT, if you can call it that. Carmelo Hayes is long overdue a call up. He could easily, obviously, as what we've seen, he's gone straight into basically the main event scene. Ilya Dragunov, Dijak. I was very pleased to see Dijak getting ready to go into Monday Night Ratio. He's fucking brilliant on
is that him
Twitter.
finally main roster?
Yeah,
Jesus.
him and it's a sort of a T-bar regen to actually something decent. Hopefully, he actually gets his full feast your eyes
Is that
gimmick on
something
the
like
main
7
roster.
years he was in NXT?
Yeah,
Jesus.
he was obviously came up
That's
as Retribution, and he's been doing this. He's done bits and bobs on the main roster, but hopefully this is his full sort of push. And I think that it does leave NXT a little bit light, but it does offer spots for people to maybe. You can't really have everyone force their way into the main event scene. You know, you've got to have a main event spot open to manage to get there. So I think that it will give all the new talents. Obviously, there's new crops of talent that have come in through their sort of NCAA system and
What
all
about
that.
Gallus?
Which,
Aye.
yeah, exactly. I think Gallus is one that definitely could have gone up, and obviously
I thought they
factions
would
with
have.
Drew
I
and
thought with
everything.
Clash coming, they'd surely finally
Yeah.
get main roster call up.
And the fact they've been with The Rock doing the training and
Aye.
that, they've clearly got a lot of faith in them. So maybe they've got faith in them to sort of carry that division. Maybe you'll see Joe Coffey, Wolfgang, whoever, maybe in more prominent spots. So that'd be ideal. But yeah, loads of talent ready to move up into the Hayes and Dragunov positions and everything. Obviously not as cultured as them, but who knows? Maybe it leaves spots for your Joe Hendrys of this world and new people to come in and maybe bolster the brand a bit of
They
what they've
might-
lost. They've clearly not.
I-
They've got someone there to replace these people, or they wouldn't put them up to the
I've
main
got a
roster.
theory that maybe they've got wind that there's a lot of AEW talent wanting to release, and maybe they're biding their time waiting for their contracts to run out, and they'll have a few spots reserved for them. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
It could be.
guys like, I'm thinking like Lee Moriarty or
Starks.
Hook's the big rumour that they're desperate to sign him.
And the way that Hook's Chris Jericho storyline is kind of gone, they've got a good write off for them being brained with a baseball bat the other week there. So it could be the opening they need. Which of the NXT ones that have came up do you think has got the best chance of success in the main roster?
Carmelo Hayes. I think that he's his sort of aura and everything. We always use this aura word. It's just it's just the way they use him. You know, he's not the biggest guy. He's not particularly the best on the mic. Obviously, he's had a lot of mic time in NXT, but it's just his in-ring work that sort of can captivate you. I know that maybe AEW has a better track record with people who aren't particularly sports entertaining. Your Will Ospreays and your maybe people like, I don't really want to be painting Ricky Starks with the same brush, but these smaller guys that might not be in the main event spots. Ricochet being your massive sort of comparison to both of them, Will Ospreay and to Carmelo Hayes. But I think the the work that Carmelo Hayes has done outside of WWE and in NXT that sets him up best, and putting him straight against Cody gives you a slight indicator that he's pretty high on their radars. And if you see Trick Williams coming up soon, I would say he's probably as good a chance as anyone as well. And obviously on the women's side, Lyra, hoping she can do some damage to the women's division and maybe get a title on the main roster sometime soon.
Yep, Bea Priestley as well. She went up.
Oh yeah, Blair Davenport. Forgot about her.
Davenport, sorry. That was a bit of an odd one because it doesn't feel like she's been in NXT that long. I know she was in NXT UK for a wee while and whatnot, but that was a kind of a left field one for me.
Yeah,
she's gone up so soon.
She dipped in and out a bit. I feel like she was out for a year or something. I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I feel like she had a prolonged period out and she just came back quite recently. Maybe that's why you've not seen her as much, but I don't know. Like, you look at the main roster and you think that there's a lot of women in NXT, Blair Davenport and Lyra being two prime examples of how they have a lot of ability, even some more ability than some on the main roster. So even if they come in as sort of, even though they're young and they're inexperienced, they come in as sort of mentors as well for a lot of the younger talent like Tiffany Stratton and stuff. I reckon you could see people like that working together in terms of helping them out getting into these main event pushes.
Awesome. Right, we'll get the question for this one here. So, obviously it was the draft over the weekend there. How many individual superstars, so including tag teams as two people, how many individual people were part of the final round of picks that was done on social media on Monday night?
Including each member of the faction being their own.
Yeah, so how many people, how many individual people were part of the final round of draft picks done on social media?
Sorry, Steve. I think I heard, just read Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter said it was 21.
Lewis, you want to hazard a guess?
I'm thinking that I've seen a list of names. Odyssey Jones being a funny one again. This mystery man. But I'll say 19.
The answer was 13. We had, in fact, I've pulled up the wrong bit here. It's 13. So the last ones that were done on social media only was Raw got Dijak, the Creed brothers, Ivy Nile, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, Caden Carter and Katana Chance, Natalia and Odyssey Jones, and SmackDown got Giovanni Vinci, Tegan Knox and Apollo Crews. So that adds up to 13 on there. So again, Steve on half a point, Lewis on 0 points as we go on to round two.
Didn't Piper Niven and Chelsea Green get moved to SmackDown?
Aye, they got moved in. I think it was the last pick of one of the final rounds, something like that. They went. I think
the question was purely the social media.
Oh, sorry.
One on that. Okay, right, round two is one that we did in a previous incarnation, which we like to call Honesty. I just need to put this. Right, why is that not letting me do this? Jeez, I'm so rubbish. Wait, this. Hang on. I'm going to get this here. I'm going to get it right.
Thank God you're not a radio producer.
It's because I'm sharing my screen. It's not letting me do it. This is on this day. I would have played Edge's theme song there. You just want to sing it? I'll give us a countdown. 1, 2, 3.
On this day, I see clearly everything is brought to light.
Right, so basically, on this day, some stuff happened. Steve, as you are in a narrow lead, do you want the odd questions or the even questions?
Give me odd, please. Odd for an oddball.
So I'm going to tell you something that happened on this day in a particular year, and I want you to let me know what the answer to the question is that I have on it. So, in 2003, Steve, on this day, Miss Elizabeth died as a result of acute toxicity in Marietta, Georgia. She was 42 years old at the time, but which wrestler was she married to at the time?
It was Lex Luger.
She was married to Lex Luger. Steve, you get a point there. Right, Lewis, you are the evens. So, on this day, in the year 2000, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, the tag team champions Edge and Christian made their way to the ring. On the microphone, Edge said that he knows everyone is disappointed that they didn't run through the crowd because it's become a bit much. To make up for that, what did they do for the first time ever on this day in the year 2000?
I'm going to guess it was for the benefit of those with flash photography, is it the 5-second pose?
It is indeed the 5-second pose. There we are. Steve, I'll come back to you here. So, on this day in 2011, WWE Extreme Rules took place at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, Florida, in front of roughly 10,000 fans. On the pay-per-view, John Cena defeated The Miz and John Morrison in a triple threat steel cage match to win the WWE Championship. What number of WWE Championship reigns did that win begin for Cena?
Oh. So how many times did he won it by that?
Yes.
Right.
Aye. So what number of World Championship was it that he won on this day in the year?
And is this just the WWE?
I believe so.
Right.
The question I have.
So
What?
I think this was his. I think this was his 6th.
It was his 8th.
Jesus.
It was his 8th, so I'm lucky on that. Now, there's a bonus question here. There's a bonus question with this one that the two of yous can be eligible for. So again, it's first to shout out their name. So on this day in 2011, that Extreme Rules pay-per-view, what happened after the show went off air?
Lewis,
Lewis.
did John Cena announce the death of Bin Laden?
John Cena announced that to the live audience that terrorist Osama bin Laden had been caught and compromised to a permanent end. So Lewis sneaks in for a wee bonus question on that one. So Lewis, you've just taken the lead on there. You get 2 points. Steve has 1.5. And it's on to your questions here, Lewis, so you could extend that lead. So on this day in 2016, WWE Payback was held in Chicago, Illinois, in front of 13,250 fans. On that show, a number one contenders match took place between Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains. What was the match result?
Was that the no contest because Enzo got thrown through the ropes and smashed his head off the apron?
That is exactly the answer that I have written down. It went to a no contest because I think the medical terms was Enzo fucked his head off the bottom rope. So yep, that was your question there. I've accidentally taken away. In fact, you know what? I'll chuck in an extra couple of questions in here. I just need to do this. Right, back to you, Steve. On this day in 2006, who quit as play-by-play commentator on Monday Night Raw with one of the most effective worked shoot promos in WWE history?
That was the original pipe bomb, Joey Styles.
Joey Styles is correct, Steve. So you get a point back. Lewis, final question, and again, this one's going to have a bonus question coming after that as well, which Steve can jump in on when we get to it. So the first question, purely for you, Lewis. WWE Backlash took place on this day in 2005. It was held in the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire, in front of 14,000 fans. On that show, which odd couple tag team defeated Muhammad Hassan and Davari?
Is this? Can I ask if this is a Raw or a SmackDown pay-per-view?
I'd imagine. I don't know if it was a. I think it was a mixed one.
Was it?
One. I'm not entirely-
I think that it's going to be something like. Is it like Hogan and Eugene or something?
I'll give you half a point for that. It's Hulk Hogan and someone.
Can I come in? Shawn.
You'll not get a point for it, but
Shawn Michaels, wasn't it?
You can give them this. It was Shawn Michaels, yep. And what was to prove quite the year for Muhammad Hassan, 2005. He and Davari were defeated by the tag team of Shawn Michaels and Hulk, the Hulkster.
Wrestling's biggest what if.
The biggest what if. The bonus question that the two yous are eligible for here. At the end of that Backlash show on this day in 2005, who was World Heavyweight Champion at the end of the show?
Batista.
Steve? It was Batista. He defeated Triple H in the main event. So, after round 2, it is level pegging, 3.5 points each. Well done. Now, there's no rest for the Wicked this week. We don't have a centrefold, we don't have an interview, and we don't have an awful lot of time to play about tonight, thanks to technical issues earlier on. So we are just going to boost right into round 3, which is, I forget what one it is. Round 3 is catch as catch can phrase. So it's catchphrase, basically. I have put some wrestling terms, famous wrestling sound bites into an AI generator to come up with some pictures. What I want you guys to do is I want you to tell me what the wrestling phrase is, the wrestling catch as catch can phrase.
Say it. Say what you say.
Say what you see. Yep. Exactly that. We don't have Mr. Chips doing it, and there's no fancy animations revealing stuff. It's just literally AI generated pictures.
Good, but it's not right.
That I got for free. So,
Good, but it's not right.
Picture number 1, Steve. You can get a shot at this one. So you'll get them each. I'm not going to let you, just keep going forever until you get it. But Steve, you are number 1. Which is this?
What the fuck is this?
So say what you see, Steve. Say what you see.
So it's a wine bottle. Oh my god! So
AI has not done you any favours with especially more so with the logos on the bottles.
Oh wait, is it pipe bomb?
It is not the pipe bomb, unfortunately. No,
I thought that was a Pepsi logo.
This one, no. It's supposed to be, I believe, the logo for the Montreal Canadiens. It's the Montreal screw job because that's a corkscrew, and those are wine bottles emblazoned with the Montreal. What's supposed to be the Montreal Canadiens logo. So unlucky there, Steve. Lewis, you have got the next one, which is this. And again, it's a thing that I've noticed with AI pictures. They chuck in like extra limbs on a lot of stuff.
So that extra limb's not anything to do with this?
It's nothing to do with it, no. It's something that the AI tends to do. They chuck in extra limbs or extra eyes and stuff like that.
Oh, I know what it is.
Say what you see, Lewis. Describe to the listeners that aren't watching on YouTube what is in front of you there.
Looks like two sort of bag of milk shaped men fighting over what looks like a ham or something.
You have pretty much just said it, but just with different words.
Two fat guys fighting over a fucking ham. Yeah, Steve, am I being stupid here?
Yeah. It's on the tip of your tongue.
Well, you've pretty much said it. Just imagine you've got a thesaurus in front of you and look at different words.
So it's not. So is it no ham?
It's ham is in the food group of what it is.
Meat.
Yes.
Come on, you're pretty much there.
Is the two big beefy men slapping meat or something?
Aye.
I'll give you. It's big meaty
Big
men
beefy men slapping meat.
Big meaty men slapping meat. So you get the point there. Right, Steve, back to you. This one is going to be a bit harder. Again, look, see, this guy's got 3 hands.
That's just freaking
and this boy's got about 9 fingers.
So it's going to be my sleep for us.
They're clearly from Paisley.
I'll give you a clue with this one. I think the AI has gone literally in terms of the vessels that the men are drinking out of. These are well-educated men drinking beer out of a particular type of vessel.
I can't make it out. But... fuck's sake, so... is it something to do with Stone Cold?
It is not to do with Stone Cold, no. Are they familiar with different types of drinking paraphernalia?
So there's...
or the names of them?
Cup, there's... mug, there's... chalice?
I think I know what could potentially be.
Right, Steve, give us a guess, and then we'll see if Lewis knows what it is. But again, Lewis won't get the point for that.
No, I've got nothing.
What do you think, Naz, Lewis?
So maybe something to do with like the Steiner brothers or something. Is it Stein?
Yep. It was Stein's. It was Steiner math.
Steiner math.
Because these two are apparently mathematicians. Again, AI doing us no favours.
Steiner
I
math.
suppose if you squint a wee bit, that is Adam Smith, I guess, and Pythagoras.
They're discussing various...
Squint and take away 4 fingers.
And Adam Smith was
Right,
from
Lewis.
Kirkcaldy, so that would fit.
This is possibly the easiest one.
Oh, that's easy, that's
Lewis.
easy.
Get closer to your screen there, Lewis. Say what you see. Say what you see.
Cooking rocks. Hot rocks. What can you smell when the rock is cooking?
Yes, there we are, Lewis. There we are. You get the point on that one. Can you, if you smell what the rock is cooking?
Fucking episode 10 of the Heat Sheet, cooking rocks.
Cooking rocks.
That's Breaking Bad.
I'd tried to get like one of the prompts I put in was chef made of stones, and it just wasn't for playing ball with me. It just wasn't playing ball with me. But yeah, if you smell what the rock is cooking, right, Steve, this one for you. And again, I think there is I think AI, or the AI image generator I was using, I think it has an aversion to violent imagery, which is why it's given me this. But yeah, it's quite a biblical scene. I'll give you that clue.
I'm just going to say lay the smack down.
Not Lath the Smackdown. It is not. It's not that. Do you want to give us a shot at that, Lewis?
No, I'll say something.
On you go.
Nah, I think I'm going to be offensive to religion.
Oh, wait a minute. Royal Rumble.
No, it is not. It was John 3:16 says, "I just whipped you."
Oh, the Bible, god damn it.
I actually quoted this yesterday in an escape room for no reason, just fucking wrestling quotes in the back of my mind. It should have been fresh in the fucking memory.
And this is the last one. So Lewis, you get the last one here. This is probably one of the most difficult ones, and one of the oddest looking ones as well.
What's going on my face?
I'll give you a clue. It's an infamous WCW quote.
Oh, I got it.
It's not one from Booker T, is it?
No. ChatGPT would not allow that, unfortunately.
WCW quote. Is it Vince Russo? He seems to be quoting stupid shit all the time in 2001.
Again, say what you see. This is catch.
Women in the seats. Women in the rafters in the seats. Taking up the seats.
You're getting close to it. You're getting there.
A women's. That'll really put butts in the seat. There we go.
There we are.
Like
That'll
Foley
put
winning
some
a
butts
title.
in seats. Brilliant. So that was quite good. He's got some good answers out there. But Lewis has stretched his lead. He's now 6.5 points to Steve's 3.5 points as we come into the last round, the final round this week, which is the fabulous three wordles. So again, if you're listening to this purely on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, this is the time that you need to go to YouTube to watch to see what we're going to do. I am going to put up some wordles that I've made myself here, and the lads are going to have a bash at figuring out what they are. So I just need to do the mechanics here. Who's rolling something about in the background?
It's me. It's my wedding ring knocking against the fucking metal bit of my...
Right, so I'm going to stop sharing that there, and I'm going to share this other tab. So I've got three wordles that I've got here. The first one is a wrestling move. The second is a wrestler's nickname, and the third one is the name of a pay-per-view. So you can take it in turns. You're going to take it in turns to have the guesses. So this one is the first one. That's the move, the wrestling move. And as you are behind at the moment, Steve, you can get the first guess at the wrestling move here. Now it's 8 letters long. So give me the name of a wrestling move that you think would fit that.
Drop kick.
Drop kick is a good guess, but it's not right. But we do know that it has got a K and an I in it. So Lewis, you can take on this next one. The K and the I are in there, but not in the right positions. If you're a non-regular Wordle player.
I'm going to give Steve nothing here, and I'm going to go for the. I'm going to go for the dick slap.
Dick slap. Dick slap. No, but the I is in the right place, and you have added in a couple more letters. You've added an S and an A to that. So Steve, you've got a good few options there.
So I know it should be easy, but nothing's coming here.
If it's getting too difficult, start giving clues.
So I in the right place. Yeah, give me a clue just to save the time here.
Okay, the body part used for this move is the knee.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh,
Fuck's
Lewis is
sake.
a bit. He's got a bit of bravado about him.
The knee. High knee.
Something I. High.
Oh wait, fuck. What am I saying?
Oh, you can't put a dash in. High. So you're saying high knee?
But I can't be right.
High-
There's no E.
H-I...
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah. High knee?
Nah.
No, unfortunately. Lewis, to take the point if you know what it is.
Is it Kinshasa?
Is it Kinshasa?
Shit.
Bordeaux! You got it. So, Lewis, you get the point there.
Forgot.
On getting
I still
that.
know Nakamura's move is the Bombaye. The fucking New Japan fan in me.
Dude,
Right,
too cultured, that.
Right, this one is a wrestler's nickname. It's a bit shorter, so it should be a bit easier. Steve, you can get the first shot at this one here as
It's
well.
a wrestler's nickname.
Can you see that? Oh, is that came up there? No, there it has.
Came up with ads.
Right,
So 5 letters in a wrestler's nickname.
yes. So it could be someday the something something, or it could be the something somebody.
We'll say something like Chief.
Chief. Nope, but we've got an I and an E, and the E is in the right place.
I had one in my head, and this works for me. Hopefully it's right. Is it the Viper?
Let's find out.
What the fuck?
Boom! You are steaming ahead.
Thanks tonight's the night, Lewis. Thanks tonight's night. You break the streak.
Right.
I swear we're no in cahoots, honestly. I've not paid Chris any money.
No, I'm just my brain's not working.
Right. So we are on to the last Wordle, right? This is the last one. It's a pay-per-view. It's got 9 letters in it, and I am gonna give 6 points. The points gap is 5 at the minute, so I'm gonna give 6 points to whoever gets this one right. So Steve, you could have a Lazarus style comeback, or you could get absolutely horsed. And I'll let Lewis go first in this one.
Is it one word?
It's one word.
Or
Or it could be 2 words mashed together to make one word.
Oh, I've got it as well.
Nah, you don't. Surely. Give us a clue.
So think of all the pay-per-views that WWE or AEW have held over the years.
Oh, so it might be AEW.
Or it could be TNA, or it could be Ring of Honor, or New
I'll go for Rebellion.
Oh, it fits. Is it going to give us it? Is it going to be there? Oh, unfortunately, it's not. Steve.
Oh fuck!
What was the?
It's not the one I thought it was going to be.
Pain.
But there's some pretty good clues in there. We've got the first letter that's R.
Pain.
The L is in the right place, and we've got a B and an O in it as well.
Revolution.
So
Oh no! Fuck, that's not.
Put it in.
They've on. It's not that. It's not that.
Does that mean there's 2 O's?
Yes, it does.
Roadblock.
Is it Roadblock? That very famous. They only held Roadblock the once, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around that time where they had like Great Balls of Fire. Then what was it? There's loads of just one-offs, wasn't there?
Is it good though?
In fact, was Roadblock the one that had the Ambrose Asylum match?
Might have been.
There was something to do with Dean Ambrose.
Top 5 favourite matches from Roadblock, that one.
Boom! Well done, Lewis. An extra 6 points to you.
I'm on fire. I might go fucking do enter a chess competition or something. Now. I'm thinking my head is in the fucking game.
Your head is in the game. Well done, Lewis, with an amazing 11-point win over Steve. The final scores this evening: 14.5 points to Lewis, 3.5 to Steve. How do you feel? How do you feel, Lewis? That's two you've won now, isn't it? Two Good, the Bad and The Sheety episodes you've won. I
feel tremendous. I don't think I've ever felt this clever, and I've got a degree.
Well, we're all about the feel goods. Steve, how does it feel how's it feeling after that performance this evening?
I hope Ian Hislop and Paul Merton weren't watching.
Well, I mean, you'll probably have a lot better chance with proper tabloid headlines as opposed to trying to work out how my head works when it comes to these things. But yeah, well done to both of you for playing. Some of the questions in there were quite tricky. Some of them were just a bit mental. But this has been the Heat Sheet presents The Good, the Bad and the Sheety. We've broke down the news in quiz form this week. We may just keep doing it this way. I don't know. Does it work better this way than the usual way? Let us know in the comments. I mean, no one ever responds to their social media stuff. But if you do have an opinion on whether you prefer the quiz format or the newspaper format or somewhere in between, let us know at the Heat Sheet Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. The Heat Sheet, it's at the Heat Sheet Podcast on Instagram, the Heat Sheet Pod on Twitter /X and on YouTube. And yeah, however you enjoy your wrestling, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'm not giving a mad sign off like Steve failed to do last week. I can't even remember what it was, but it was brilliant.
He is on.
Just heat up your soup.
I fuck, it was like, I think I tried to say
it's hot.
The heat. I think I wrote it down as well. Like, I was going to start with heat is on, and at the end say the heat is off, but I fucking had a mind blank. Now the heat is off. I'll turn the heating off or something.
If you can, turn the heating off.
Turn the heat sheet off at this rate.
Put a tenner in the meter, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been the Heat Sheet.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We believe in Joe Hendry. Right, let's see if we can get a clap. So, say his name and he appears. We believe in Joe Hendry. Shite, absolute shite. Cheerio. Hello, Heatseekers. It's the Heat Sheet.